once I bring Ollie here. Okay. Very good. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I bring Ollie on today, because she's going to share something really, 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 really cool, and she actually went through it with me. She actually went through it with me before this was yesterday, just after the event. So I'm very excited about it. Karina said, "I love your humor, master." I try my best. I try to be funny. I really, really do try. So I'm glad you laugh sometimes. That's very good. Thank you. Um, and yeah, before I bring Ollie on, I just wanted to say something because there was some questions actually. I think the team was dealing because obviously there was thousands of people, and there was a group of people taking the opportunity yesterday with Ollie's coaching, the 1 year program. And we had a lot of questions in that went to the team, and the team asked if I could address that for some of you before we get into today's session. So is it okay that I just take maybe 5 minutes of your time and then just explain so you guys know exactly, yeah, so at least I can answer some of the questions. Okay. So well, even if you said no, I can't take 5 minutes off. I'm still going to take it anyway. So, anyway, oh yeah, so there's a few things. Just to clarify, some people were asking if they joined. I think there's three questions. Okay, so first thing is if you joined by doing the payment plan option, which means you can get started for just 300 around 300 plus dollars. It's you still get everything. So there is nothing. Somebody was saying, "Oh, do I only get part of it or what?" No, you still get everything. Um, you get the full package. The full package is the whole year program plus the Telegram chat plus the coaching plus the 7 week plus the bring your loving partner soulmate who is already there or not even already there that you'll manifest later. So you can bring them along another time as well. That's totally fine. That's not a problem. Um, yeah, so basically the answer was you still get everything. Okay, that's the first thing. Somebody said I can't. A lot of echo. Is there a lot of echo? Is it? Um, no. Some people say it's handleable. Okay, so if it's handleable, it should be okay. So that's the first thing. If you went for the 300 bucks to start off, you still get everything. First thing answered. The second question. What was the second question about? The second question. Oh, the second question was clarifying about is this program like who is this program for? Because somebody was asking about they have a partner already and the communication part, what you're going to learn in that. So here's the thing. Everyone listen carefully. Listening? Yes. Give me a smile. Okay. So the so you are learning obviously like let's put soulmate aside first. Okay. I know everybody gets very excited when you think about soulmate, okay, and past lives and this life and all these relationships and twin flames and everything else, okay? But let's put that aside first, okay? The foundation of attracting a soulmate, manifesting a soulmate, or keeping a soulmate starts from self-love, confidence, expression, effective communication, okay? Let me ask you a question. Are these things applicable whether you are attracting a soulmate, whether you already found your soulmate, or whether you're not even talking about soulmate at all, but you are taking your confidence and your self-love into everyday life, into what you do, into career? Is it applicable? Yes or no? Please. Yes or no? Absolutely yes. Okay. It's a personal development journey. You're understanding yourself better. You're understanding how to harness your different energies better. And I know I keep referring to the divine feminine, divine masculine energies because for me personally, when I was hearing everything that Ollie was sharing, it was a big aha. Like I got an aha moment when she was actually going deep with that. When I knew what she was covering in the workshop. So self-love, confidence, expression, communication, exactly, Comey. So these things is applicable across everything. So it doesn't mean you have to look to manifest your soulmate. It also doesn't mean that you have to be single or you have to be in a relationship. No, it doesn't. Any relationship starts from the relationship with yourself. Okay. So if you are somebody, now think about this. If you are somebody who you feel like you need to value yourself more, you need to release some limiting beliefs, traumas, whatever it is, or you feel like you could do with valuing yourself better, appreciating yourself more, having more self-love, or you feel like you're somebody who would like to have more confidence in your life, or you want to be somebody who can be heard and know how to express yourself well, you want to improve your communication. Again, I'm going to say it again. The quality of your communications determine the quality of your life, right? The quality of your communications with yourself and with other people determine the quality of your life. So if you are wanting any of those things, then is it applicable for you? Yes, of course, right? There's 7 weeks of coaching there. There's monthly coaching there. There's monthly Telegram there. There's a tribe there. There's a whole year of that program there. Okay, so that's that question. The final question, there's a dual sound master. Yeah, actually, because I'm on multiple Zooms here. I've never tuned in from home like this before. This is my first time, so please bear with me a moment, okay? The final part, okay, the final question, I forgot. I'm so sorry, but I just completely forgot. Like, it's just gone. I've been trying to find it since answering the last 2 questions, but it's gone. My recommendation for everybody is this: listen carefully, Linda. Okay. And every other Linda and every other name out there. Okay. I'm going to, I always say this: if you don't ask, you don't get. If I just ask the team, please, if we stop the chat on all of the Zooms that I'm seeing right now, stop it for one moment. And if you can paste the link once again inside the chats. Okay. If you are unsure, if you just know you want to develop yourself further, could we put the links in, please? Okay. Okay, one Zoom at a time. Okay. Are we putting in the second Zoom? Okay, here we go. Okay, so if we put the Zoom, all the links inside there. So if my advice to you, if you have any questions whatsoever, or if you are looking to better your communication, increase your self-love, your value for yourself, feel your enough, get rid of any limiting beliefs or doubts that may be stopping you, have better communication, confidence. If you want any of those things, your best thing is just to fill in the first page. You don't even need to commit to anything. I'm just saying, just fill in that first page. Then just let a member of the team, they will just drop you a message or give you a call, and then just see what and how they can help you. Right? I always say, if you don't ask, you don't get. So easiest way, I've forgotten what the last question was, but whatever that question was, any questions that you have, basically, you can just click on that link, you can just fill in your details, and then get your questions answered. Easier to do it that way. Okay. I think that's all I needed to cover. And some of you asking why I'm not at the studio today. Well, I knew that some were requesting for Ollie to show some of her stuff, and so I spoke to her, and then she said she'll happily teach some really cool stuff today. So she went through it with me yesterday. I'm very excited, and plus, I've got a secret. Can I let you guys know a secret? But you can't tell anyone. Don't post anywhere. It's I don't think she'll be here, but anyway, it's my sister's birthday tomorrow. And she's in the UK. She doesn't know this, but I'm gonna get on the next flight back to sunny England. Yes, I'm gonna be there. Get a grey tan. Yes, I'm gonna be in sunny England. I'm gonna fly tonight, and I'm gonna surprise her. So you'll probably see it on my Instagram story. I'll surprise her tomorrow, and you can see what happens. Okay. Yeah. So I'm flying in a few hours, so I need to go pack now. And I'll be listening in, tuning in, and learning with you guys. Okay? Are we ready? Are we ready to learn today? Yes or no? If you're ready to learn, give me a wave, give me a smile. Okay. And if you're ready, could we give some energy? The more energy you have, the more energy Ollie can give you too. If you all stand up for me, please stand up, stand up, stand up. Get some energy in the room. Go crazy, go wild when the team puts that music on. Yes. Where have we got Lizzie? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I need more of that type of energy going on. Who else? Laura. Okay, get the music going, get the energies moving. And when we are ready, please, everybody, give it up. Thank you, Lana. Thank you, you guys are amazing. Thank you, Tan. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Jenny. Amazing. Give more energy through the roof. The more energy you give her, the more energy she can give you. And raise the energy through the roof and give a big round of applause and welcome on stage the one and only, the amazing Ollie. Please give her a hand. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, Ollie. There she is.
Everybody, can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello,
thank you,
hello,
thank
hello.
you, thank you, thank you, guys. Thank you, Ollie. Namo Himalaya. Thank you.
Can we give a big round of applause for Master, please, for his amazing work? Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Asia. Hello, Maisha. Welcome, Chan. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, everybody. How are you feeling today? Good? Yes? How this last day went for you guys? You learned? Yeah? How many of you have learned a lot, by the way, these days? Give me a hand raise if you learned a lot these days. How many of you have felt a lot these days? Give me a hand raise if you have felt a lot these days, right? Beautiful. Well, Master asked me to come here today because he said there's a lot of people inside the chat asking, Master, you speak about this Ollie. Who is this Ollie? Where is this Ollie? So here's Ollie. Nice to meet you guys. When Master asked me to come here today, I was thinking, okay, what can I share with those people? What is something that can really be life-changing? And I was taking some notes, right? And I was thinking, what is that they need right now? What is that like huge life-changing information that will just take their relationship on the next level? And I was writing some stuff down, and then I thought, okay, that could work, but I wasn't sure yet. Yesterday, how many of you were in the question and answer session? Type 1 inside the chat if you were in the question and answer session, right? And during that session, I had an aha moment. And my aha moment was, this is what they need. This is what's going to be life-changing. This is what the humanity needs right now. And that's why I'm here today. My intention today is to raise your conscious awareness about something that is happening with humanity nowadays, which is extremely important to understand if you want a healthy, long-lasting, fulfilling relationship. How many of you want that, by the way? Give me love inside the chat if you want that long-lasting, beautiful relationship where you can feel loved, valued, complete, right? Beautiful. And the thing that we all need to understand, if that is what we want, if the infinite spark, what I call the infinite spark, is what we want, is this, and I want everybody to write this down, is the yin-yang balance. The yin-yang balance. Now you're probably thinking, what this has to do with a relationship, Ali? I'm not quite understanding. Let me break it down for you. Now, first of all, okay, this is how it looks like, right? We're all familiar with it, right? Okay. What is the yin-yang balance? You can also call it the divine feminine and masculine activation. The divine feminine and masculine balance. Yesterday, I received a question during the question and answer session from a beautiful girl, from Natalia. And she asked me, Ali, you said that throughout the year we will be learning about feminine energy, masculine energy, the activation of those energies. But she said to me, I'm not understanding why that is important. Why is it important for me? I'm here for my soulmate. I'm here for find a relationship that works for me. And that's when I had my aha moment. I was like, okay, people need to really understand why is that important. So today, this is what you'll be learning. Number one, you will be learning what even is the yin-yang balance, what does it mean, divine feminine, masculine energy? And number two, why is that important? Okay. And number three, how to activate it. Okay? So number one, what is, because we need to be on the same page, right? Number two, why that is important. And number three, how to activate it. How many of you like the sound of that, by the way? So exciting. I see in the chat. Beautiful. Show me some excitement. Yes? Show me some excitement inside the chat. Okay. Wonderful. Beautiful. So let's start, shall we? What is divine feminine or divine masculine energy? Let's break it down, okay? Let's take the word divine. What does it mean, divine? The way I see divine is like this. Divine is the best expression, the best potential expression of one element. So what does it mean, divine feminine energy? It means the best potential expression of femininity. Is that clear for everybody? Give me a hand raise if that's clear for everybody. Okay, beautiful. And same thing goes with divine masculine energy. What is it? Is the best potential expression of divine masculine energy. Okay, make sure to write this down because it's important. It will all linked at the end. Okay? Now, to give you a better understanding of, okay, Ali, I got it, but still, what does it look like on a practical level? How does it feel like? What does it mean when we are in a romantic relationship? I have prepared for you a list of the traits of each qualities of femininity and masculinity, which I believe it will help you guys to have a better understanding of what does this mean. How many of you want to understand more of what does this mean? Give me a hand raise if you want to learn more. Beautiful. Now, make sure to take notes while I'm speaking so you guys can have a full understanding of it. Now, when you think about feminine and when you are in your feminine energy, you feel things like intuition, right? When a woman is fully connected with her body, with her feelings, she has a very strong intuition. She knows what's right and she knows what's wrong. And same thing a man. Little disclaimer. When I'm speaking about men, women, notice that I'm speaking about energies. Now, if you look at the symbol that someone shared in the chat, thank you, of yin and yang, okay, you can see that also the yin has a little bit of yang, right or right? Can you see that? Yes? And also the yang has a little bit of yin. So what does this mean? The feminine, a woman, what we call a woman, has masculine energy, yes or yes? Give me a hand raise if you're following so far. Yes, beautiful. And the masculine, of course, it also has a feminine, and we need both. We need both. Okay? So I'm going to give you an idea of what does it look like on a practical level. We said that the feminine is more of the intuition, right? Is more in the being in the moment. And what is the opposite, complementary, masculine side of intuition? What is it? Try to give a guess inside the chat. Exactly, logic. Thank you, Tulika. Logic. Now let me ask you a question. Can someone survive on today's planet Earth just with intuition? Of course not. We need logic. Can someone on planet Earth survive with just logic and no intuition whatsoever? Of course not. We need both, right? So when you allow yourself to be tapped into that intuition, what you're doing is you're being in your feminine or in your masculine. Type it inside the chat. When you allow yourself to follow your intuition, exactly, feminine. And when you allow yourself to be more logical, what are you doing? Feminine or masculine? Masculine, beautiful. So let's keep going. Another quality of feminine energy is yielding. Make sure to write this down. Surrendering, letting go of control. Surrendering, letting go of any control. And giving full trust of the universe. A person who is fully connected with her divine feminine essence, she has a lot of faith because she knows that she can yield back, she can relax more, she can trust the universe, she can surrender more. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying here? Yes? Beautiful. But if we are constantly on a state of surrendering and always letting go and always flowing, can we achieve something in life? Yes or no? Of course not. Of course not. So what do we need then? What is the opposite of surrendering? The complementary aspect of surrendering. Type it inside the chat. I see someone say taking action, okay. Control, okay. Grounding, yes, beautiful. How I see it is leadership, decisiveness, the ability to take action, that drive, that motivation, that I know where I'm going, I'm planning it, I have a plan. I know where I'm going. I know the direction. How many of you know that is extremely important in life if you want to achieve anything in life? Give me a hand raise if you believe that to be true. Beautiful. So now you know. Now you know that when you allow yourself to surrender more, you're in your feminine. And probably for those of you who want to activate your feminine, now you know that you should surrender more. If you want to activate that masculine energy a little bit more, what you need is leadership, drive, motivation. Yes? Give me a yes inside the chat if everybody is following so far. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Now, let's keep going. Feminine is all about receiving. Masculine is all about giving. When I give a gift, I'm in my masculine. When I allow myself to receive, I'm in my feminine. Feminine is all about being soft, being kind. Masculine is more about being hard, right? Feminine is all about flexibility, flow. Masculine is all about strength. Now, how many of you here have ever practiced yoga before? Give me a hand raise if you have ever practiced yoga before. You will notice that when you see people practicing yoga, you will see that naturally, like it's nature, okay? Men are they usually more strong or more flexible? What do you see? What they tend to be more strong or more flexible? Strong, exactly. Feminine? What they tend to be more flexible, more strong. Now, does this mean that strength is more important than flexibility? Or does this mean that flexibility is more important than strength? Of course not. We need both, right? So the feminine is flexible, the feminine is like water, the feminine is flowing. The masculine is more like structure, it's like planning, it's like, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is how I'm gonna do it. This is my business plan, this is my life plan, those are my goals, right? Another way to think about it is, actually, let me tell you guys, this list could be infinite, because everything in nature follows this rule. So think about water. Someone very wise once said, if you take water and you put it into a glass, it will take the shape of the glass. If you take water and you put it inside of a bottle, it will take the shape of the bottle. So water is flexible, right? And it's a very feminine trait. What about the masculine trait is complementary with water? It's fire, right? Now, why it's important for you this to understand when it comes to relationship? Okay, Ali, water is feminine, fire is masculine. How can I use that? I'm just gonna give you one simple example. There's so many, but just one simple example. Now, I want you to think about your sex life. If you have the understanding that women are like water, if you think about it, it takes longer to boil, right? It takes more time to boil. And it also takes more time to cool off, right? While fire is like, boop! You can like warm up fire in 1 second, and at the same time you can cool off in 1 second. Yes? So how can we bring that understanding into our relationship? And more in particular, onto a sex life? Well, this is what we need to understand. Men, you need to understand that women need more time. Right or right? Women, how many of you agree with what I'm saying? Type yes inside the chat. Yes. Okay. So they need more time because it takes more time to come to a boil. They need that touch and that affection first, right? And at the same time, what women need to understand is that just because he wants to do things quickly is not superficial, it's just his nature. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying here? Okay? So having an understanding of this dynamic is extremely important because otherwise what we tend to do is to judge. Right? I see someone saying beautiful. Beautiful, guys. Make sure to write this down because if you don't, it will just go away. Write your aha moments, highlight it, type it inside the chat when you're having one so the information is locked in. Beautiful. I see aha moments. Wonderful. Amazing. Now, let's keep going, shall we? Now, when it comes to divine feminine, divine masculine energy, there is something very important that we need to understand. And that is this one. The word balance. We need to understand this. Every single time there is an excess of one energy, no good. There is an imbalance. If there is imbalance, there is unhappiness. What do I mean by that? It's very simple. Now, there is 3 main traits of what I call the winded masculine energy, and 3 main traits of the wounded feminine energy. And what does it mean, wounded? It means that there is an excess of it. I see Viviana saying, I arrived late, what's happening? We're just chilling, Viviana, we're just having a coffee together. What is happening right now is I'm basically giving you guys a life-changing knowledge that if you really make it yours, which I will do my best, you guys, to really make the message land, it's really life-changing. That is what's happening. Okay, beautiful. So make sure to write this down. Let's actually do it together, okay? What are the 3 wounded, which mean excess, there is an excess of feminine energy and excess of masculine energy, okay? So here I'm gonna write the feminine and here the masculine. Okay, make sure to take a piece of paper and divide it in 2, right? And here we have the wounded, okay? Now, why is that important to understand? Is very simple. Because if long-lasting relationship is what you want in life, there is no way that can occur if there is no balance. No. And this is actually something that I've been able to absorb a lot. Yesterday, I shared a little bit of my story and about the fact that, when I was 16 years old, I couldn't find anybody to take advice from, to have a good relationship. I couldn't find anybody that could help me to find the right one. And I said to myself, okay, I need to figure that out. So what I've been doing is this. I've been studying people. I've been looking, witnessing what happens. So what I've done is this. I took a group of people that were so bad at a relationship, like so bad. Like that relationship was just a source of pain, of struggle, of suffering. And I studied them. By the way, that was the easiest part because I was surrounded by it. Like every time I look around, I just look like I see only relationship hell. So it didn't take me much effort to go to look for. And then I started to look for people that actually nailed it. That people that actually make it work. And I started looking at them. It's like, what does it take? Let me study those people. So I literally did my researches throughout the years. And this is what I found out. The people who stay together for long periods of time are not the smartest, are not the most beautiful, are not the wealthiest. Really not. But they were always, and all of them has one thing in common. Guess what that thing is? Balance between energies. And all of those relationships that didn't work at all, guess what they had? Wounded feminine and wounded masculine excess of energy. And it was very, I had a lot of epiphanies. I thought, wow, that, I was like, no, I've never heard that stuff. That makes sense. Why nobody told me that stuff? I went for school for like more than 20 years in my life, and nobody ever taught me that stuff. And I was like, wow, that absolutely makes sense. So how many of you are excited to learn that? Give me a hand raise if you're excited to learn that. Yes? Beautiful. This is extremely important to understand for you guys if you don't want to fall into the trap of relationship hell, which I hope nobody here is for, right? Wonderful. So what are the 3 main traits that are representative of the wounded feminine energy? Okay? Make sure to write these down. When a person, listen, when a person, not a woman, it could be a woman, it could be a man, when a person has a wounded feminine energy, the first thing that you will be able to see is she is too needy. Now, the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy, so the best potential of femininity is receptivity, yes? Is being able to receive, right? Is being able to receive what? Receive love, receive support, receive kindness, receive gifts. And all women here, you will notice that, also men, when you allow yourself to connect with your divine essence, you will receive more. You will receive more from your romantic partner. He's going to do that extra effort. He's going to take you out more often. That extra flowers for no reason. You're going to buy you that dress for no reason at all. You're going to plan a vacation just to make you happy. So when you allow yourself to be in your divine feminine energy, you allow yourself to open. Feminine energy is all about openness, openness for receptivity, right? What is the wounded aspect of it, though? The wounded aspect of it is neediness. And this is what a lot of women struggled with in the past century. What do I mean by that? How many of you knows or have ever met certain women, I know I have some in my family members actually, that were in a very toxic relationship, maybe even domestic violence. And that woman find it hard to leave that relationship because she had no idea how to live life. She had no idea how to find a job. She had no idea about how to open a business, how to open a bank account, how to go and find for a rent. She had absolutely no idea about how to do that. And there was a lot of women in the last centuries. How many of you can relate to that, by the way? Give me a hand raise if you can relate to that. Wonderful. That's not the situation that you want to be in. Yes, open for receptivity. No, neediness. If there is nobody that can give you anything, you should be able to give it to yourself as much as possible. Okay? So, when it comes to divine feminine energy, it's all about relying, depending also. It's okay to depend on people sometimes. It's absolutely okay. How do I know? How do I know that it's okay and you should depend on people? It's very simple. Let me ask a question. How many of you here know, if you know, give me just one name, like one name of one person that has ever done something great, something amazing, something extraordinary, and has just done it all by himself? You can find one. You cannot find one. You cannot find someone that has truly done something that is extraordinary on planet Earth, change humanity, right? And he's doing it all by, everybody needs a team, everybody needs people, we need people. Elon Musk, how somebody said Elon Musk, how big the team of Elon Musk is. Like, is Elon Musk have done what he's done by his own? He has a team of 0 people. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying here? Beautiful, beautiful. I struggle with allowing myself to be dependent on others. What is this? Is an excess of masculine energy. So when a woman finds herself in struggle to allow herself to receive more, she's not connected actually. She's really not connected and aligned with her divine feminine. I used to give in my relationship. What about receiving? We just give. So one thing that you will notice, that I noticed through my studies, is really that. It's women when they, or also men, there's also men like this, when they tend to be too needy, that's a winning feminine trait. Okay? Beautiful. Now, the second trait is, make sure to write this down, being lost. Now, I want to ask you a question. How many of you here have ever felt lost in life? Give me a hand raise. If you have ever felt lost in life, what I'm going to do in my life, right? Well, when you are not connected with your divine feminine energy, you're going to feel a lot of that. Why? Because the best potential expression of femininity is flow, right? It's all about flow. It's all about going with whatever comes. It's flexibility. But the excess of it, where there's too much of that flow, what happens? What happens, guys? Type it inside the chat. What happens? When there is too much excess of being in the flow, of being too flexible, you get lost. You really get lost. You're like, you have no direction, you have no structure, you have no motivation, no drive, no plan. And therefore you get lost. Okay, beautiful. You see some aha going on, wonderful. Make sure to write this down so you have it, okay? Now, what is the third wounded trait of feminine energy? And this is actually a huge one, like a huge one. A lot of people struggle from it. And that is people pleasing. Make sure to write this down. Now, what does it mean, people pleasing? And this I see a lot in women, but I see also a lot in men. So, what is people pleasing? Let me ask a question. How many of you have ever been in a situation before where a friend of yours asked you to go to a party? Yeah? You don't want to go to the party, but you don't want to hurt their feeling. Maybe it's their birthday or something. So you ended up saying yes. How many of you have ever done that? Give me a hand raise if you've ever done that. Thank you. And you go to the party and then you're like, what the hell? Why am I here? What I'm doing here? Why I said yes? So what does this mean when it comes to balance? Why is it an excess? Very simple. One of the feminine traits is nurturing, right? Is taking care of people, is being present with people, is giving that love, right? But when there is an excess of it, you trying to help people equals to you neglecting yourself. I'm going to repeat that one more time. When you are in your wounded feminine energy, and you're always people-pleasing and helping everybody and don't want to hurt anybody, yet at the same time neglecting yourself, there's no balance whatsoever. Feminine energy, I want everybody to understand this, because once I understood this, my life completely changed. The feminine itself is all about being, okay? Where the masculine is all about the doing. Now, we will go through that more in particular later. But I want you to understand this here. How many of you want a high-value partner? Give me a hand raise if you want a high-value partner in your life. Wonderful. Now, how many of you think it would be a lot of value if I share with you what does it take to look high value through a man's eye? And what does it take to look high value in a woman's eye? How many of you think that would be very helpful if I do something like that right now? Which, by the way, I didn't plan, but I think it will fit good. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so let's do that. Which is very linked, by the way, with what we're saying. Now, have you guys have the list of the qualities, feminine, masculine? Have you guys written that down? Give me a yes if you have some of the qualities written down. So intuition, okay. I want you to add to it. In the feminine line, feminine is all about being. Masculine is all about doing. What does it mean? I'm going to explain that through a simple example. Let's say that two people goes on a date. Okay, how many are in the dating phase right now? Type 1 inside the chat if you're in the dating phase, like you're trying to date to find the one. Okay, Lydia, beautiful. Shirley, beautiful. Dragon of the Earth, beautiful. Samsung, beautiful. Okay, wonderful. Now, let's say that two people were on a date yesterday, okay? And the day after, they decided to go to their friend's house, both of them. So let's give them a name. Let's say that Mary and John. Mary and John went on a date yesterday, and today Mary decided to go to her best friend's house, a girl, and John went to his best friend's house, Steve. Okay? Now, what you will probably gonna hear, listen here, what most likely you're gonna hear in the conversations, if you're like leaning your ears, is something on those lines. If you go to Mary and her best friend, you're most probably gonna hear things like, so how the date went yesterday? Oh, it went pretty cool actually, you know. He came and picked me up, which I really appreciated. It was a nice gesture. And then he took me to this nice restaurant, you know. And I really appreciate that because it was actually the best restaurant in the city. And then, you know, he also bought me flower. Like, oh my God, that's so sweet. So, such a gentleman. And, you know, like, he wasn't just happy like that, because actually he surprised me at the end, because I thought that, okay, we finished dinner, which, by the way, he asked me, do I want dessert? And I said, no, it's okay. And he ordered it anyways. Now, boys, take notes. If you ask a woman if she wants dessert and she say no, she wants it anyway, so order it. And so you will hear that stuff, right? And then she's gonna be like, oh yeah, at the end, someone saying, where's that guy? I want that guy. Guys, take notes. That how we expect you to behave on a first date. So she was explaining, right? And then she said, okay, he actually surprised me. He took me on a movie night. And I love this movie. I love his taste. Like, I really appreciate that. He's a nice guy. I really want to, you know, I really want to see him again, right? David, flowers in the first date. Noted. Good. And dessert. Noted. Look at the guys. I'm so proud of you guys. Look at them taking notes. Natalie said, I want this date. You will get it. Don't worry. You will get it. Your soulmate is hearing somewhere here, and you will get it. Wonderful. So now let's go to the men, to what was it called, the guy? John? Yeah, to John's conversation, okay? What are you most probably gonna hear is something on those lines. So how the date went yesterday with Mary? Oh, actually very good. You know, she was so beautiful. And I know, when I look at her, I felt a sense of relief. I felt good. I really felt good. You know, it's just her presence, just, you know what? I had actually a very rough day at work that day, but just looking at her and staying with her, it immediately made me feel good. Like, it was such a relief, you know? I don't know. I thought, probably I'm already in love. I don't know, but just staying with her was so good. I see some aha already coming in. What does it mean? How many of you can relate to that, by the way? How many of you can relate to the fact that if you hear women speak, they're all about the doing? And that is what women value. Men, take notes. Women, if you want to look high value in a woman's eye, she will dictate if you're high value or low value by what you're doing, by the actions, by the effort. I see that. You guys are so funny. Where are those guys? They are here. And if they're not, they're listening right now, so they're taking notes. By the way, look, all women agree. But from a man's perspective, is the opposite. Now, of course, men do appreciate if you do things for him, but not as much as you think. What do I mean by that? It's very simple. Now, I want you to be honest here, dear women, and I have a very important question to ask you. How many women here in the room have ever wanted to get the attention of a man, right? You wanted him to do more for you, and so you thought, well, I'm gonna cook his favorite meal, and then I'm gonna put on that sexy dress, and then I'm gonna, let me think, what else can I do? I'm going to, what else I can do? I don't know. I'm gonna clean the house, so he comes and like everything is beautiful. Be honest here, how many of you ever consciously or subconsciously try to get a man's attention by doing those things? Yes, yes, me, beautiful. Let me tell you, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Why? You can be the best cooker on planet Earth. You can be the best cleaner on planet Earth. You can be the sexiest woman on planet Earth. That's not how he's going to see you as a high value. That actually was, again, my aha moment when I was studying relationships. When I was to look at a high-value woman, okay, in a man's eye, so I studied this relationship, and I see the man is truly in love with her, like really, really in love with her, and he values her, and he invests on her, and he moved mountains for her, right? Then I look at the quality of that woman. You know what I noticed? Ask me, what do you notice, Ollie? Ask me, what do I notice? Type it inside the chat. What do I notice is this. She was not the prettiest. She was not Miss Universe. She was not the smartest. Really not. She was not even the best cooker or the best cleaner. But you know what she had? You know what she had? And this is the most important quality that will make you high value in a man's eye. She had an ability. What ability? That ability is the ability to make a man feel good. Listen here, make sure to write that down. A man will not dictate if you're high value by what you're doing for him. He will not dictate if you're high value by how much you're doing for him. He will dictate if you're high value by how you make him feel. How confident you make him feel. How appreciated you make him feel. How strong you make him feel. This is how you look high value in a man's eye. I see all men are agreeing. Damn right. Aha, that's right. Beautiful. Wow. Okay? So this is extremely important to understand. Why? Guess what? If we don't have an understanding of this, what women will do with already they're doing is, I want his attention, I'm going to do more for him. Now, okay, this is actually funny. You know how he's going to feel when you do more for him? This is how he's going to feel. I was watching an Instagram reel the other day, and there was this dog and cat, okay? So the dog was, listen, because this is actually funny. The dog was like, my owner feeds me. You know, my owner gives me cuddles. My owner takes me out. Oh my God, he must be God. This is how a dog reacts. Oh my God, he must be God. He gives me food. You know, he takes me out. He cuddles me. He loves me. And now there is the cat. And the cat was like, my owner gives me food. My owner takes me out. My owner gives me cuddle. Oh, I must be God. Now, that's That's what you're doing when you're doing more for the men. It's like the cat. If she's doing all of this for me, it means that everything is okay, so I don't need to do anything. Now, when it comes, listen here, when it comes to a long relationship, you have to do things. I'm not saying you don't have to do anything, okay? Of course, we need to put the effort in. That's absolutely important to mention. But I'm saying that this is not what it will dictate you as high value. So instead, what you focus is, as a woman, okay, how can I make this man feel good? How can I make him feel wanted? How can I make him feel confident? How can I appreciate him? How can I talk good with him, also in front of other people? I see a lot of women doing a terrible mistake. When they're in a group of friends, let me tell you if anybody has done that, by the way. When they are with a group of friends, they like put down the confidence of a man. Oh, it's another baby that I need to take care of. Be honest here. How many of you have ever done that? How many women have ever done that? Type 1 inside the chat if you have ever. It's a terrible mistake. Me, 1, 1, 1. Terrible. Terrible mistake. Because your high value as a woman in a man's life is dictated by how good you make him feel. And by good make him feel, you really push him. You really push him, by the way, to do more for you. Because he's going to be like, oh my God, this woman in my life, she's doing so much for me. She's making me feel so good. She's giving me all that relief from all the stress that I have. I would love to move mountains for her. I would love to provide for her. I would love to create safety for her. Is that clear for everybody? Yes? Beautiful. Make sure to write these down. Make sure to write notes. Make the message land. Aha, wonderful, amazing. Okay, let's keep going, shall we? Yes? So, the feminine is all about the being. You want to become a high-value woman? Focus on how can you be more. Because the best thing that women can bring to the table, listen here, Linda. Somebody were asking who is Linda. Linda is just Linda. Everybody knows Linda to be Linda. The best things that women can bring to the table, this is actually, again, a fun story. I was preparing some work, and I was asking myself the question. And I asked myself the question, I said, what are the qualities of a high-value man? And when I asked myself this question, the answer was immediate. This, and this. Now, when I ask myself the question, okay, what are the qualities of a high-value woman? I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't find the answer straight away. I was thinking about it, couldn't find the answer. This before doing my studies. And I thought, okay, maybe just because I've never thought about it. But then I understood why. Listen. What women bring to the table most of the time is not tangible. You cannot see it. What is it then? You can feel it. Women, the best that we can offer to a man's life is on energetic level, is an exchange of energy. So that was an aha moment for me, because I was like, oh, that makes sense. That really makes sense. Because if you're a woman right now and I saw in the Facebook group a lot of women saying, I'm looking for that man, that masculine man that can provide for me and take care of me and make me feel cherished. Well, let me tell you, you need to work on what? On your energy. And more in particular, in your feminine energy. In the yin. Your alignment with the feminine energy will automatically or auto-magically manifest a masculine man. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to become the match of what we want. How many of you here wants to find your match, like the right one for you? Yeah, give me a wave, give me a smile, give me a heart. Let's see how committed you are for it. Beautiful. So if what you're looking for is a masculine man and a strong, powerful, the one that can take you and can give you that leadership, the one that when you're with him, you can shut down your brain. You can stop thinking. You can just allow things, right? I want that. Beautiful. What you need to do then? Type it inside the chat. I need to connect to my feminine energy. I need to connect to my feminine energy. Okay, now let's keep going. Everybody, take a deep inhale. And a gentle exhale. And again, deep inhale. And a gentle exhale. Okay? So those are the main wounded feminine traits. Neediness, lust, and people-pleasing. Now, what we have in the opposite hand. How do you know if you have an excess of masculine energy? Listen here. Again, what I was showing before. I didn't say when men have an excess of masculine energy. I said when a person has an excess of masculine energy. So many women actually have. So listen here. Okay? Okay, number one, make sure to write this down. Suppressed vulnerability. Vulnerability. A wounded masculine trait is represented, number one, by a suppressed vulnerability, a suppressed emotions. How many of you here have ever met a man in your life, or maybe you've been one, where you find it hard to express your emotions? You find it hard to, actually, let's put it this way, to connect with people, to show that vulnerable side. Many men actually fear that if they're vulnerable, we're not going to love them anymore because they think that vulnerability is weakness. Now, guys, let me tell you something. How many of you have ever thought in your life, I know I did, that vulnerability is weaknesses? If anybody here, type 1 inside the chat. I know I did. I used to think that vulnerability means weakness. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, listen. When they come to me and told me that, both men and women, they said, well, no, I don't want to be vulnerable because if I'm vulnerable, I'm weak. And I'm like, you don't want to be vulnerable because that would mean that you're weak. I'm like, just go and try. Just go and try to be vulnerable and see how strength does it take. Just try. Try to open yourself up. Try to go out there and show your insecurities. Try to show your fears, to show your authentic self. Try to do that. And then come back to me and say, oh, that was weak. It takes a lot of strength to be vulnerable, guys. I know because I've been there. When I allowed myself to tap into my feminine, which, by the way, I was a very masculine woman. I still have a lot of masculine energy, but now I know how and when to use it. Before, I was just too masculine. And I had that. I couldn't express my vulnerability. I couldn't soften. That's the word. Soften in your vulnerability. And because I couldn't soften in my vulnerability, guess what? I couldn't connect with people. I want everybody to write this down. Connection is created by vulnerability. Connection is created by vulnerability. No vulnerability, no connection. And this is what a lot of men are going through, by the way. If you're a man right now and you find yourself, or if you have ever find yourself, find it hard to express your emotions, to express your vulnerability, let me tell you, I know for a fact it's going to be very hard for you to connect with people on a deeper level, like on a soul level. I see some aha going on. Beautiful. Now, when I was thinking about that, actually, how did I came to understand that? Is through a dear client of mine. And this guy came to me some months ago, and he was in a very, very terrible situation. He wasn't just like you, most of you guys, I just want my soulmate. No, no, no. He was in severe depression. And he came to me, and he said, I'm alone. I don't have anybody. And when he said that to me, I asked him some questions, tried to understand, and I immediately saw the answer, immediately. And by the way, guys, one thing is having suicidal thoughts. Another thing is planning the suicidal event and trying to make it not look like a suicide. Guess which one of the two cases he was? Been there. I see some people saying been there. He was planning, exactly too. He was planning to have a suicide. And after that conversation, I could immediately see what's happening. What was happening is exactly this. For so many years, he was raised by parents telling him that men should never cry, men should suppress their emotions, you have to be strong. And for years and years and years, he never allowed himself to be vulnerable. And if there is no vulnerability, there is no, type it inside the chat. No vulnerability, no connection. Now, I was doing my studies some weeks ago. By the way, now he's doing better. I'm actually very proud of him. I really am. I can remember when he first came to me and how he was, and then I explained to him what's happening and why is that happening. We did a lot of, it was a one-on-one, we did a lot of childhood work. We went back to that time, and then we changed everything, and he healed from it. So I'm really proud of him. Now he's doing better, thank God. So when I was telling you guys, I was doing this research, right? And there was like this study that I've been reading. Basically, it's actually a very interesting thing. They have been studied that if you take a person, right? If you take a person and you put that person in a room, okay, with no water and no food, before that person, listen here, before that person could die of starvation, you know what's gonna die for? Loneliness. Depression. Depression is caused by what? By loneliness. So when people came to me and are like, why should I study relationships? Why should I? You know, most people here are coming because you want your soulmate, which is absolutely okay. I believe that everybody deserves a soulmate. But I want everybody to understand this. Connect with people is not something that you can afford to say no to. I want you guys to understand this. Connecting with people is not something that you can afford to say, I'm okay with not having that. Why? Because you cannot survive without connection. We need people. Big aha. Agreed. Beautiful. I make the message land. So I'm actually, guys, let me tell you something. I'm hyper. hyper excited today, super excited today. Why? Because I see you guys. I'm super happy to have this conversation with you guys because I know that those guys here, all of you here, are not doing what the average people do. And what the average people do is taking relationship for granted, is taking connection for granted, without realizing that connection means happiness. And not only that, it means survival. How can you survive with no people? It has been scientifically proven. Before you could die of starvation, of thirst, of hunger, you will die of loneliness, of depression. What about feeling lonely with a lot of people around? Love that question. You can have all the people around you and still feel lonely. How many of you have ever experienced that? How many of you have ever experienced you have a lot of people around and still feel lonely? It's not about how many people you have. You know what it's about? Ask me inside the chat what it's about. It's not about having a lot of people around you. Connection is not created by having a lot of people around you. What creates connection? You should know by now. What creates connection? It's not people. It's not having a lot of people. Exactly, Ariel. Vulnerability. That's what creates connection. So either you're a man or a woman right now where you feel you have a hard time to show, to soften into that vulnerable side of you and express the truth of who you are. And be proud of your insecurities. Be proud of your fears. Show them, own them, show them, speak them. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to cry if you need to. I cry one day and the other too. Crying is healing. It's okay. Master know that, by the way. One day he looked at me back then when I was a student of him, and he looked at me and he said, "Stop being like a baby." And I'm like, "No, I want to cry. Let me cry." With Master, I've cried so many times. It's okay. Allow yourself to do that. It creates connection. Crying is cleansing. Yes. Let go. Fuck it. Show it. With proud. This is who I am. Hey, this is who I am. Those are my insecurities. Those are my fears. And because you're my soulmate, because you're the partner that I'm choosing to live my life with, I want you to see that part of me. I want you to be aware of it. I'm not going to show you only the good parts, because let me tell you something. Everybody can love me for the good parts. Everybody can love me for my strength and my beauty. But it takes a soulmate to love you for your insecurities, to accept you for who you are authentically. It takes the right person. Beautiful. So, make sure to write this down. I need to work on vulnerability. You need that. You really need that. Not only for happiness and romantic, you need that for survival. People die because they're alone. People die because they don't connect with people. People suicide because of that. Are you learning, guys, by the way? Give me a hand raise if you're learning. Yes? You want to learn more? Yes, we still have a lot of things to cover. You want to learn more? Yes? Beautiful. So let's keep going, shall we? Yes? Okay. So now, the second wounded masculine trait of masculine energy, so when there is an excess of it, is, make sure to write this down, domination. Now, domination is a word that can goes for both wounded masculine and healthy masculine. What do I mean by that? When I dominate whatever, it could be a country, it could be I dominate a woman, it could be I dominate a community, okay? And my domination, so I'm the leader, okay, it's coming from good intentions. So let's say that I'm dominating a country, an empire. And what I want is the best interest of those people, of my community, right? So every single action that I will be doing and decision that I will be making is going to be for the greatest good of my community. What is this? Healthy, masculine traits. How many of you are following so far? Yes? Okay. Now, what is the wounded aspect of domination? You can guess it, actually. What do you think it is, the wounded aspect of domination? Dictature, okay. Control, overpowering, controlling. Manipulative, exactly. That's the one. Aggression, yes. What does this mean? And we had that throughout history. When someone, let's say I'm dominating a country right now, or a population, and or I'm dominating a woman, it's the same thing. So when I dominate a woman, let's put it this way because we're here, okay, in a wounded masculine energy, all the decisions that I'm making, all the thoughts, everything that I do is not for the greatest good of that person. Exactly. Who said that? Sartre? Narcissism. That is what narcissism came from. One domination is, I'm going to dominate you because you're going to do what I want to do. Either that is in your benefits or not, I don't care. I'm going to do because it's benefiting me. That is wounded masculine trait. That's what was happening a lot of the last century. The last century, we have experienced a lot of that. A lot of men were taking domination from a negative standpoint, wounded masculine energy. So they would take a woman, for example, and basically do whatever they want. They would rape her, they would kill her, they would close her in the house. What is that? Wounded masculine energy. The healthy masculine energy is dominating, is leading, is deciding because he wants the best interest of that thing, of that person, of that country, of that community. Is this clear for everybody? Yes? Beautiful. Beautiful. In my country, negative domination is still existing. What is that? Unfortunately, yes. And what is that? Wounded masculine. Wounded masculine energy, it's narcissism. Okay? Everybody take a deep inhale and a gentle exhale. And a deep inhale and a gentle exhale. Now, what is the third trait of masculine energy? Unfortunately, make sure to write this down. Is violence, aggression, domestic violence. Now, when we look at this, divine masculine energy, the best potential expression of masculinity, what we said before a trait was strength, right? Be strong, powerful, right? Now, how many of you can relate to the fact that when a person is strong, can use that strength in two ways? For good or for bad, exactly. So when it's healthy masculinity, that strength is used for good. Example, I am walking with my husband and another guy come and try to rob my bag. My man is strong, is powerful. So he take that man, he give him a lot of punches, he take my bag again, he's protecting me. Healthy masculinity, protection, strength, power, right? Wounded masculine energy. My husband come back home. I didn't cook dinner tonight. I was late. The kids were crying, so I needed to stop them from crying. I didn't cook dinner tonight. You didn't cook dinner tonight? aggression, violence. And unfortunately, it's still a reality of many countries nowadays, many people nowadays. And we need to stop that from happening. And how we do that? How we do that? Can you see how healing that would be, by the way? We start talking these 5 days about how to attract your soulmate. And now we're like, how to heal the world, if we only apply those things. It's really how to heal the world. Those balance can heal the world. Okay? Is that clear for everybody so far? Yes? Beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do with you is this. I want you to have a moment of self-reflection right now. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, okay? And in those couple of minutes, I want you to think about all your notes, and I want you to ask yourself this question. Which one of the qualities I lack more? Example, if I'm a feminine woman, right now maybe I see myself not being able to receive. Okay? So maybe I need a little bit more of that. If I am a man, maybe right now I lack a little bit of strength, that power, that ability to make everybody respect me for my word. Maybe I lack that. If I lack that, what can I do? So I want everybody right now, I'm going very quickly, a couple of minutes, to look at everything that we've been sharing so far and understand what do you need to work more on from now onwards. G said, I have so much masculinity, I though that should be helping people. Okay. So I'm going to help you through it, okay? And listen here. So to understand what you need to work on, I'm just going to give you some glimpses, some things to think about, and then you can go and do your thing. Now, if you are a woman right now, and you are, how many women here? Type W inside the chat. Let's see how many women we have today. Okay, we have a lot of women today, beautiful. Now, if you are women right now, and you feel that you have an excess of masculine trait, how most likely you're going to feel is like this. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel tired. When a woman is too much in her masculine energy, there's an excess of it, she feels exhausted. Why? She feels like she's doing too much. Everything is on her shoulder. She feels this huge, huge, huge pressure on the shoulder. I feel that way, Tulika. Okay, so true, Abina. Wonderful. So, if that's you, me too, me, you see a lot of women. Aha, okay, beautiful. So, when you feel this way, what are you going to do now? Have a note of it. What do you need to work more on now? How can you let go of that pressure a little bit and allow you to be in your feminine? I want you to think about that. Then let's keep going. If you're a woman right now, again, how many women? Type W inside the chat. Okay. If you're a woman right now and you have an excess of feminine energy, so you're here, how most probably you're gonna feel like is neediness. You feel like you cannot function if you're alone. I see Natalie saying me, beautiful, like work on that. Like, okay, by the way, this is really important. Like, women should be able to function alone. Now, then, when you find the right one, you can choose to lean back. But don't rely on that. How many of you are understanding what I'm saying? I see some, not a lot, but I see some of women doing that. You cannot rely. Let me tell you something. The reality is this. Now, I'm all here cheering for providership and masculine containment and men taking on the responsibility of being a man. But the truth is also this. Listen, men do not owe you anything. They really don't. They don't owe you anything. You need need to give something. And giving something is not by doing, as we said before. It's by what? How you give to a man. How you give, how you look high value in a man's eye. Being. How you become more. How you have that energy, that aura, that feminine aura that as soon as he's in contact with, he can already feel a relief. I'm home now. I'm with my women now. I feel good. I'm working so hard, but it's worth it. You know, as long as this woman is happy, those kids are taken care of, it's all worth it. And I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to move mountains for it because my women deserve that. Is that clear for everybody, by the way? Yes? Okay. Now let's keep going. So if you're a woman in the wounded feminine energy, how are you going to feel like? Needy, lost, people pleaser. You don't have that capacity to stick to your point, okay? How many of you can relate to that, by the way? If anybody can relate to that, type F inside the chat. Now, third thing that could be happening is when a man is too much in his masculine energy. Too much, an excess of masculine energy. And how you're going to feel like is like this. No connection. When a man is in excess of masculine energy, he's going to feel like it's very hard for him to have that deep, really deep soul connection with people. How many of you have ever experienced that? Or right now, maybe you're living through that. Like you want to connect with people, but you feel that it's not happening. It's almost like there's a wall. But by the way, there is a wall. When you become able to see energy, you will be able to see a wall when people don't allow themselves to become vulnerable. I do, me, wonderful. Make a note from it. What are you going to do now about it? If you're a person, by the way, not necessarily a man, a person that is having a hard time to connect with people, we just said that connection is created by, type it inside the chat. Connection is created by, exactly, vulnerability. Thank you. So ask yourself, if you find yourself in this situation, how can you become more vulnerable? What are you going to do? Type it inside your notes, right? Now, last thing. When a man is too much in his feminine energy, how does he going to feel like? Well, I have a side note from here. There's a lot of men nowadays in this situation. But anyways, how he's going to feel like is he's going to feel no motivation. He's going to feel no purpose. What is my purpose in life? I don't know. What I'm going to do tomorrow? I don't know. He feels a sense of powerlessness. So he finds himself in certain situations where we have no power whatsoever. How many of you here have ever been in a situation before where you really wanted to change certain aspects of your life, but you felt, what's my power in here? I have no power about it. Raise your hand if you have ever felt that. Always. Yes. What does this mean? There is no real connection when it comes to your divine masculine energy. There's an excess of feminine energy. Yes, why I left my marriage. Look at that. Look at that. So when I first started here, guys, and I told you, listen, this stuff is life-changing. Now imagine if iPhone, who said that, yes, that's why I left my marriage, knew this stuff before getting into a marriage, or maybe in the middle. Now, do you think that iPhone, wish I knew before, what's your name, by the way, so I stopped calling you iPhone? Elizabeth. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Okay. Now, think if Elizabeth would know those things before. Would she act differently? Yes or yes? Would she look for a different partner, maybe? Look for different qualities maybe. Have a different approach. Exactly. That's what I want from you guys. This knowledge can save your marriages, can save your relationship, can save your love for people. It really does. I'm a woman and I feel I have wounded feminine energy as well as masculinity, and I feel exhausted. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you're asking, is that possible? Of course it is, because if you have too much of masculine energy, you feel tired. If you have too much of feminine energy, you feel no power whatsoever. You bring that both, oh my God, good luck, my girl. Because you're tired and you feel you have no power whatsoever. Maureen said you went deep today. Yes, let it be like... Nadine said, what about finances in partnership? That's a whole other topic, which if I dive today, we're not going to finish here. Actually, finances in relationship have a very, very interesting thing. How do I know that? Let me ask you a question. How many of you here know that, or maybe you've been there yourself, that actually one of the most biggest reasons of divorces, of fights, of arguments is because of what? Is because of what? Finances, money. Exactly. So it took me 1 year. It took me 1 year of studying finances when it comes to romantic relationship and how couples should work on that, should have a good balance when it comes to finances. Because my parents divorced because of that. They really did. A lot of people I know they did. When you look at the stats of the reasons of divorces, it's one of the highest on the list. Money is really one of the highest on the list. Okay? So if you're in a man in your feminine, that's how you're going to feel. You're going to feel passive, no motivation, no drive. How many women here have been in a relationship with a man before, or maybe you are in a relationship right now, where you feel that your man is not doing enough? How many of you feel that? Yes, yes, yes. How many feel that he's becoming more passive? Me. It's happening. It's really happening. My mom and dad. Okay. Now I'm going to give you guys 2 seconds, very quickly. Okay. I want you to look at your notes. I want you to have some self-reflection time. Okay. By the way, before we get into that, I was speaking with the team before, and they told me that we still have some spaces left for the 2 people, which I'll be coaching throughout the year, which, by the way, I'm super excited for. Because, like, in 1 hour that I have here, I can do my best, and I can share with you what does it take. But one thing is knowing what does it take to activate your feminine or masculine energy, and another thing is actually activating it, like actually doing the work, the shadow work, the inner work. There are 2 completely different things. So I'm very excited for those of you who have already joined, because we're going to have an amazing year together. I'm so happy that you guys have taken this seriously, because it can change your life drastically, not only in relationships. And actually studying relationship has to change my career. It changed everything. And if there's anybody here who learned today, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I need to surrender more. I need to connect with my divine feminine. I need to let go more and to relax more. What are you going to do about it? Surrender, yoga. Let go of control, beautiful. But how are you going to do it? It's easy to say, I'm going to surrender and let go of control. How? I want you to think about the actionable steps. Somebody said yoga. Yes, yoga would help for 1 hour, for 90 minutes. And then when you are in a relationship and you cannot trust your partner anymore, you cannot surrender. In yoga, you can surrender for 90 minutes, but then in your daily life, are you going to be able to keep that energy throughout the day? If you are a people pleaser, well, what do you need then? If you're a people pleaser, what do you need? You need that confidence. That confidence in saying, you know what? This is what I want, and I'm not going to compromise for it. Because if I neglect my desires, I cannot give you. You cannot give from an empty cup, right? And that's where you see a lot of people that they give and give and give and give, and then they don't have anything to give. So maybe you need that confidence and that belief that I come first. Because if I don't put myself first, I cannot give to people. Viviana said mirror work, beautiful. That's very powerful. How are you going to do mirror work? Are you just going to look at yourself in the mirror? What are you going to do? We all look at ourselves in the mirror. I did before coming here. I was fixing my hair. But, how are you going to do it? Work with a coach, Natalia. Beautiful. Wonderful. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Now, start to finish off. Okay. Everybody done with this? If you're done, type done inside the chat. If you're done, type done inside the chat. Okay. Beautiful. Now, what's going to happen now is very simple. We are going, first thing first, I still have something that I wanted to cover, which I'll be covering tomorrow. Number one, why? I still didn't cover why it's important. There is 2 reasons why. One, it's for your own benefit. So I'm going to covering what's in for you, basically. What do you will get out? What changes you will be able to see from activating those energies, which, by the way, are incredible. I'm just going to give you one for now. I'm going to give you one. I remember 3 birthdays ago of mine. I was born in 8/8, by the way, divine number, divine abundant number. Okay? So 3 birthdays ago, I spent the whole day crying. Why? Because I didn't receive any gift. It was my birthday, and I didn't receive any gift. Now, what is gift? Gift is a love language, is it not? When you give a gift to somebody, it means that you love somebody. So, me not receiving any gifts was me not receiving any love on my special day. Which made me think a lot. I was like, why? I mean, have I done something wrong? And after crying in my life, I said, this is never going to happen anymore. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of gift. I'm worthy of providership. I'm worthy of it. I'm worthy of all of that stuff. So it's not happening anymore. And that's when the moment I start learning about how to activate my feminine energy, and in particular, how to open myself to receive more. And once I do that, everything changed. I started receiving so much that it was almost too much. you will be able to see it, by the way. You will be able to witness it. And you will get amazed. When it will happen, you will get amazed by it. So I remember not long ago, actually, I was there sitting and just meditating and thinking. And then I thought, wait there a second. I'm living the life that once upon a time I used to dream of. My man is doing so much for me, that always taking that extra effort. I'm receiving more love from people. I'm receiving more gifts from my birthdays. I'm receiving more career opportunities, which, by the way, is in the package. How many of you here, as a woman or a man, you have an ambitious spirit, you know? You want to do something meaningful in this lifetime. Give me a hand raise if you want to create something meaningful in this lifetime, right? Me. It comes with a package. It's not only about relationships. Because you being able to receive is you being able to receive from what? There is one source. There's one source. And that source is the universe. So when you open yourself to receive from the universe. So this is just one little thing that you will be able to experience once you create this balance. Okay? I want to change the world. Love that. How are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? So tomorrow, this is what will be happening. Number one, I'll be covering the why it's important and what you will get out of it. Bailey said May 5th, exactly. That's the date. And number two, you will be able to understand what does it take. So how what does it really take to activate those things? Which I'm very, very excited for. And how many of you guys think that today we went deep? Give me a one inside the chat if you think that today we went a bit deeper. Well, tomorrow will be even deeper. Even deeper. Why? Because now you're ready for it. Now you're ready for it. And I want you guys to take the maximum out of these 5 days. Whether you choose to follow me on this one-year journey or not, I want you to take the maximum out of these 5 days. So tomorrow is going to be a very special day, the last day, so let's take the maximum out of it, okay? So another thing, make sure to join early and fresh. Have an open mind, okay? Fresh, because what I'll be sharing tomorrow, it takes a little bit more of your brain to work, okay? So again, if you want to go deeper, you need to expand here, okay? How long do we have access to the Becoming Your Perfect Match? Will there be a recording of all these review at later dates? Recordings, yes, you will have access of all of that. How long do we have access for it? It's going to be 4 seasons. So, one every quarter, okay? Now, by the way, all your questions, make sure to write this down, because now we'll have a question and answer session, which I'll be answering more questions than yesterday. Yesterday we didn't have a lot of time. We get a little bit emotional. I was doing my feminine yesterday, so I was like, yeah, let me feel. I want you guys to feel. Okay? So what we're going to do now is this. Listen here. We're going to have a 5-minute break. Okay? It was amazing yesterday. Yes, it was amazing. So I'm really happy that you guys enjoyed it. We're going to have a 5-minute break, okay? And just to refresh, to take some water and things like that, we will come back, and then you can ask yourself the questions. If you have a quick question, you could just write it inside the chat, and we will see, okay? Is that okay for everybody? Have you guys enjoyed today's session? Yes? Now you know who's Ali. For those of you, Master was speaking about who's Ali. You met me. Now you know who's Ali. Okay? Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your beautiful energy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being listening. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you so much, guys. Really enjoyed this session. I had an amazing time. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Mm.